first round, and we're going to go into the action here. It is Train. Team 1 starting on the T side. They have a pretty good T side in particular. They tend to get more rounds than you would expect out of the attack. A lot of utility taken through both teams. A lot of utility for the CTs. There's the ladder drop. Skull's going to take the head off Nafani immediately. No problem there. There's an answer back, but Axile's being pushed back, and he'll be chased into the office where he is low on health. Player on the train going to go hunting. He won't be given any safe quarter. Now the site is theirs. This bomb can be planted now. And we've got the round underway in a big way, and a man advantage for Team 1.
Yeah, I loved that pop dog drop. It was so well played, and yeah, has left Team 1 with a nice little man advantage now as this retake is trying to come in. The old bomb train, that's where they're both moving from. Shuro and Inter's wanting to stick together, and they do have the kit, so that's going to give them a relatively decent amount of time to work with, but at this point, they just don't have the numbers. Inter's all alone, didn't even bother tapping the bomb. The hope was there that he could maybe catch one player off guard, taking a peek out to find out what was going on around the site, but obviously he is immediately caught himself. So there we go, Team 1. This is kind of the win condition we gave. We said they need those early rounds, so that pistol round obviously being one of them. If they can get the first gun round out as well, suddenly they're sitting with a fantastic early T side. So that's kind of what we're aiming towards here if we want to see Team 1 having a shot in this map, but that's a great start. The force buy though, we're seeing a double scout setup, one of them in the hands of Shuro and Axile. He's a player that whenever I see him pick up the scout, he just takes so many heads, it's ridiculous.
And I think this is probably the best map in the pool for the scout. Its scout flips on train are iconic. And there we see it get started early. Shiro's already claimed one. Utility in hand for Skulls. He gets caught out, and you know Hobbit wants his gun. There's a deagle right around the corner. They're going to go chasing back for the control. Mob's trying to climb the ladder. And Nafani, well, he'll be baited in by the flashbang. He actually gets a shot off. Takes the player down to about half. But he's not going to be able to take the kill on the second. Hobbit finds him. The bodies are dropping left, right, and center, and now it's down to a 2v3. Team 1 on the back foot. They do still have the rifles to play with, but with 2 scouts on the server, this is no easy feat. And Hobbit's taking the flank again down ladder. He's been so dangerous in this round. Luke will bring back one, finally, but he needs so much more. Be backing along the train cars, looking for this. The bomb is right in the lap of Hobbit, so he'll just be sitting on that, playing around the E-box. Not sure where the player's coming from, but he's just found the presence to slip away. Back in towards T-Con goes Maluke. And now he'll come poking out, but the scout's looking for him. There's no easy, safe passage, and Hobbit is up close as well as they're clearing angles, clearing positions. He'll get smelled too. There's going to be the check. There's going to be the kill. And that's going to be the force by round win for Gambit. From the get-go, the B-Hall setup get them their initial kills, and then it just all falls apart for Team 1.
Oh god, that double scout setup is always going to be scary. On a mapper like Train or Dust 2 especially, that's when I think they can come out and do the most damage, and we just seen that happen. Obviously the pistols contributing massively, some good aggression from Hobbit especially, with following up that kill on the player who was above Pop Dog, because I believe he was the only one even on the B side of the map, so kind of as soon as he was lost, they had no idea of what was going over around the B halls, and they knew that Hobbit had pushed up, so they had to just try and make that play happen, and it did not work out. They're now stuck onto pistols on a force play of their own, but Inter's, he might be in trouble. A couple of them pushing up Ivy, and despite some early damage, I was going to say he does go down without a kill, but a nice nade coming through. I'm going to trade as well from the FAMAS. I was going to say they are looking pretty good, but we're still in a 3-on-3. This is not too terrible for Team 1. I can afford to slow things down now a little bit. I was content with that, but never mind. Hobbit's just flanked back around. They had actually 2 players in Pop. Hobbit, I'd imagine, went up aggressive on B again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something they probably will want to keep in their mind, the fact that Hobbit has gone up aggressive on B now 2 out of the opening 3 rounds.
It's definitely a concern. Just the presence that they've got initially, and the fact that they're so willing to push in the envelope in that regard. No investment into this round except for a Zeus for Mobs. Love it. You know I'm a fan of the Zeus. I'm trying to think what he's going to do with it.
He's probably going to drop Pop, surely.
Yeah, it's got to be the ladder play. Or he just sits and waits for the money to come up. Nope, he's going to go for the drop, try for the Zeus. I hope the player is playing close up. He's not, but it's all right. It's a decent shot. Axile's already gotten a kill elsewhere, as again, we see some aggressive control into B halls for Hobbit. He's all the way pushed upper. He's got this ground. He knows they're flirting around the ladder room. They're going to catch a nade. Not really anything you can do about that, and not really anything you can do about expecting a kill. The ladder might be their best chance to isolate one if they drop with a couple of blocks, but it's a narrow chance at that. They're more likely to just get sprayed down and erased. There's the attempted tap. There's the kill. Confirmed. And Hobbit's actually the only player on the team who's even taken damage to this point. So now we've got one left. We'll see what Maluk can do. Not terribly optimistic that he's going to snake a bomb plant. And no, he'll get spotted. The exclamation mark goes up above Axile's head. And the kill comes in. Gambit up to a comfortable 3-1. Now Team 1 will have the buyback in. Here's where we see their game plan. Here's where we see if they can get it done once the guns are on the server.
Yeah, no, they needed that cleaner round there on the Gambit side after having taken some damage, obviously, against the Force Buy in the round before. So they'll be happy with that now, but as you mentioned, Team 1, this is where they need to get back onto the server. We had high hopes when they won that pistol. It was very quickly shut down, and again, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some hope for Team 1 here in the early moments. Gambit have been very aggressive. They've loved their pop dog control. They had a couple of rounds pushing up B, of course, and they're not going to stop that aggression. They are just going to go ahead and swap it up and try it out in some different areas. They're going to take that main control. This gets them a decent amount of info, but unless they go any further through with it, I don't think they're going to realize quite how quick that B hit is being set up to come in. This is certainly dangerous. Hobbit, yeah, he's sitting in the smoke at the moment, I believe. He does have a bit of vision, and he's found PRT and has been allowed to escape with still 28 health. The only issue is he doesn't have a lot of nades. He's only got a flash, so he will need a teammate to get over in position, and he's already got Shuro there on the up, posted on upper, where most of the forces for Team 1 are positioned themselves, and he even gets a shot off before the smoke pops. A little bit of an early peek there, preemptive from Mobs.
Very problematic now on the B side. They're going to take some control. They might be able to get this bomb down. Ooh, they should be able to get the bomb down, but not with numbers. 4v2, and this is going to be so hard to hold on to, especially with Maluk back on the flank, but he does get that flank kill, so now this makes life a little bit easier. The problem is, Pesa can't really get away, and he will eventually get collected. He found one kill before that, and, well, set his team up for potential, but Axel quickly shuts it down, keeping his scope zeroed in, spotting the legs of Maluk, and figuring out how to eliminate him. No problem there, a 4th round for Gambit. A more successful round for Team 1, considering how battered they were by the initial aggression, but still no cigar on that one. Gambit, changing up the look. I love that in the gun round, right? You change your aggression, you move it to T-Con. Team 1, they've been getting pushed in B-halls round after round after round. They finally have the rifles. They're ready to get that kill back. There's no one there. There's no one upper halls. Instead, Hobbit sneaks his way up ramp, uses that one-way smoke where you hop up on the side ledge and get just a tiny angle over it. It's a really nice play from Gambit.
Yeah, it's so difficult to trade out as well on the side of Team 1 because you're just not normally expecting someone to push up through that smoke, especially on their own. It is a little bit of a ballsy play. But yeah, 4-1 Gambit continuing with the early lead, and while Team 1 again being put back onto that weaker by pistols, Kevlar, few nades as well, but for the moment, we are seeing them try and actually just go in towards this A execute, and they haven't got past any of the entry points. Instantly stopped. One drop down pop dog. Axile then dealing with everyone trying to come from main. And yeah, really making that look as easy as possible. It's all on PRT, and well, there's one kill. I mean, that's better than nothing at this point. We've got to say it. They did put a decent amount of investment in, so I wouldn't say it's worthwhile, but it's better than it was looking to be.
I think the thing that's concerning here, and obviously, okay, here comes attack in from Team 1. They're going to take the timeout. This is a good time to take it, because this is where things start to get concerning.
It's needed. It's the best of 1 as well, remember that. Normally at this point, we're like, it's alright, they have more maps if it does go bad, but no, that's not a thing right now.
No, they need to get this back on track immediately, right? It's CT side train. You lost against the Force Buy. That makes life tough. But here's where things have to get back on track. You're going to have the op. You're going to have the guns. You're going to have everything you possibly want. If you can't do it here, you're probably not going to be able to do it for much of this half. And Gambit right now, the issue is how comfortably they're winning these rounds. They are not sweating. They're taking aggression. They're taking control. Once they take ground on the map, they're not giving it up. It's not like we get one kill and fall. It's like, oh, we get one kill and then we hold it. And they're very good at it as well. So nothing has looked comfortable for Team 1 so far. Let's see if they can do it here. Looks like we're going to get a B hit, most likely. Aggression.
Ooh, is that the wall bang?
Positioning. Actually, might be in towards T-Con more. No, it is, in fact. Positioning towards B-halls initially. Was that a wall bang on the Nafani?
Yeah, I think so. From Maluke over in main, catching him coming out of connector. It's a nice little bit of damage early to hit. You don't see it too often anymore. Again, though, the A main control has been taken. They've got Nafany up in Pop Dog. He's willing to back away from it now because they've got that main control. And they may be considering a quick rotate, which would be the correct idea for sure. And there we go. Yeah, Shiro's going to head back around through connector. They've also got Nafany who's going to be around connector. I think even going up into heaven at this point, which makes sense with the low health and the AUG. But obviously we know it's the B site that is just about to be tested. They've got a few nades, Hobbit even with a molly. And I'm honestly surprised Team 1 are going towards this hit so soon. They haven't really put a lot of pressure across the map to run down that utility that Gambit currently have. I guess it's just the fact that they've been seeing so much aggression that they want to try and hit the sites before Gambit can feel comfortable enough to go for whatever they want. But yeah, they're still taking their time.
Now, taking your time at this point, I kind of like because, well, now the hit comes through. So we'll talk about the hit as it happens. Shiro's already claimed one. Some ground has been gained, though, for the Brazilian players. As they've got a player push forward, that's PRT. They're going to be able to get this bomb plant. They're going to be able to play a decent post plant as well. This is the first time they've had a post plant with numbers up. Yes, they have a man disadvantage, but they've actually got 4 players in the site. This is not bad at all. The question is, can PRT take some of these initial kills? He's got to get 1 at the very least. Really would prefer 2 before he drops. And they're coming to clear him, and Hobbit! That's a brutal peek. Just comes straight in. Rips his head from his shoulders. Maluk gets 1, but the kills are coming back the other way, and this is looking rough indeed. All on his skulls. He's got a smoke. That's not what he was hoping for in this situation. A molly, maybe he's got a chance, but no. Not even 1. Shiro puts a shot through the smoke, and he finds skulls. The defuse is on. 4 players survive, and Gambit are suffocating Team 1 right now.
Yeah, again, I maybe would have preferred if they just put that little bit of early pressure in order to run down those extra few nades from Gambit, especially with how aggressive Gambit are liking to get in those early moments. They use a lot of the nades initially, so then if Team 1 were to maybe try and fake things out a little bit, run down the last couple of Molotovs and flashes, even if they don't go towards Adair, for example, just to make things a little bit more difficult on the retake. But yeah, they can't really be thinking about that right now. They do need to just get back onto this buy, which they have at least been afforded, and well, try and start actually adding some rounds to the board because it is getting into pretty dangerous territory, as we said, especially in a best of 1. Default for now, though. Nothing too special. Flash in towards the B halls, trying to ensure that they're not going to be getting caught by that aggression from Hobbit yet again. And, well, otherwise, we're not really seeing anything too special. Nafany up in Pop Dog. I think we've seen that basically every round. Axile, I think he's again looking maybe for some late main control, but I'm pretty sure he saw the shoulder there actually of Pesa. So he's not really going to be looking to push in anymore. They've also spotted a player trying to come down Pop Dog, and well, so far for Team 1, they haven't had a lot of success, and when they do finally go forward, despite that flash being perfect on Nafany, he still somehow comes out on top of the first exchange. And, well, it's left Gambit with a man advantage now. I honestly don't know. He was blind the entire time. Was the player coming out main blind as well, maybe? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think he just knew. He just knew his angles. He knew exactly how much to swing on it and to spam and expected the play based on the fact that he'd been spotted in ladder. It's interesting that they continue to go for these bold info peaks, and look at Hobbit's position. Oh my, he is so far forward. He's going to have them as they come around the corner. There's no way they expect this. No, they do, actually. Skulls clears it. Okay. Hobbit's gotten maybe a wee bit predictable on that aggression. You're going to have Shiro try and come back around and get some shots as they come in, but he can't really commit to it. Now he's up on sidewalk with the deagle out. This is bold. There's going to be a player coming around. He'll get his head ripped off. Maybe over-aggression coming back to punish. But never mind. They've got it back in control. Mulb still needs to play in the He's got 17 seconds to do so. He looked clear to get the first, but he can't get away from Inters' nade, and that's enough to finish him off. So that is a much closer round. Gambit, I think, maybe getting a little predictable with some of that B-side aggression, but even then, Team 1 can't see the round through. And this is starting to get very concerning. It's a 7-1 scoreline, a scoreline that haunts Brazilian fans' memories.
I was about to say, at least in... I was about to say, at least it's not over yet. In football, when you're down 7-1, you know you're done for. This is kind of like, this is the bad start territory, but it's not the end of the road. They can still get back in with a couple gun rounds and really kick themselves alive.
Looks like they want to pressure ladder again. At this point, I don't think they need to info peek ladder to figure out if Nafany's there. They should assume that Nafany is there until they've seen him somewhere else. Shiro's already going to get 1. He'll get tagged with the tech, but he goes back for a second. Shiro, you madman. Going for more. He takes a third with a P250 as well. They've lost Hobbit, but Shiro doesn't care. He is a one-man wrecking crew, and he will dismantle that B-take before it even gets off the ground. Yes, that was just an eco, but God, does he make it look good. Looking at the score lines here, Dean, 11 kills for Shiro. Axile higher than that, 13 and 4. He is crushing them round after round, and there's not much Team 1 have been able to do about it.
He's been solo holding A main, basically, right? Whenever he goes in, when they push out anyway, he's been getting that round against the Pistols and Kevlar, he got the triple kill, but he's been going aggressive a lot into main as well. He's been having a lot of presence, and yeah, as you said, up there at 13-4 at the moment, alongside Shiro, who we do expect to be up towards the top. Again, it can change between every single map, I feel like, for Gambit, because you're not going to count out Hobbit, Nafany, or Inters either. So yeah, it's a tough one for Team 1. They need to step up immediately. This is the round where I'm hoping that they'll be able to show us another sign of life. They seem to be slowing things down a lot. Is this the first round we've actually seen them try and put any pressure over towards Ivy? Because prior to this, it's been mostly around main and B especially that they've been favored towards. But yeah, a little bit of noise above B made. They're going to try and drop in the pop again, I believe, and then off of the back of that, try and actually make a decision.
Look at the T-Con control, though. Yeah, Nafany's all the way forward, and he's got Axile behind him to support. So presumably Axile scoped in right now. He's going to take the first pick, and then you're going to see the SMG swing, and Pace is just now trying to clear this off. So every time they try and shift something up, move towards Ivy, move towards here, well, Gambit just move. And so they haven't found the kill towards Ivy. You saw the smoke come in, which cleared off the one spot, and basically made them think there was a player in that corner. But since then, Team 1, they're just going to fall back into a B hit. PRT will hold for this team main aggression, and I do like that. And it's going to come through. Let's see if he gets his kill. This kill would be huge, at least to limit their information. No, he's going to leave before it happens. Now it's problematic. Inters has already gotten the first. These players are coming out in a hit. They're getting dismantled. As per the usual, between the utility and the guns, everybody's dead. PRT, who's left to hold the flank, says, well, there's no flank to hold if everyone else is dead. Can't really go anywhere with this. He knows he's surrounded. He knows he's given up T-Con. He knows he's given up ladder. They've heard the tick, and they're on his trail. They'll get the kill. They'll even get an upgrade from Nafany, who was playing with an SMG. And now it's a 9-1 line. We have only seen signs of life from Team 1 in really one round when they got the bomb plant on B with 4 alive. Other than that, it's been a desert for them.
Yeah, I mean, most people will probably think you were going to say the round they won there, but that was the pistol. So you can't even... it's not really the same. The gun rounds are different. That's when
it was a good
you really need to get going. It was. I actually loved the drop-down pop dog, if I'm remembering correctly. I think they dropped the player on the bottom looking backwards with his head down, which means it's very difficult to hit him in the head, but obviously you can't help. So you need the player who's on top to 100% get that kill. And it had worked out well for them, but since then, nah, the pop dog, it hasn't been their friend. Every time they try and drop down, Nafany is ready. And again, that is the case. He's going to be smoked off, though, so that's going to potentially force him back out into the open of the main players. And he does go down, but it takes 2 of those players so long to actually catch him that, of course, Gambit in the meantime are there to pick off a couple of those pushers. So it's down into a, well, 3-on-1 at this point. I was going to say 2, but no. Quickly dealt with. Inters and Hobbit taking 1 of those remaining kills each, and Gambit are already sitting on double digits. We're 10-1. I think it was 5-1 when we seen that previous tack pause come in for Team 1, so it was just about time for another to be called. Maybe even a little bit too late. I wouldn't have minded it before that previous gun round, but yeah, I don't know, Mike. It's going the way we thought it would, which is kind of disappointing in my opinion.
It's just more brutal than I thought it would be. That round, you clearly saw their idea, which their idea was, okay, we know Nafany's playing in ladder again and again and again. He keeps killing us there. Let's kill him. We know where he is. We know what he's doing. Surely we can kill him. And they really devoted their setup to killing him. They succeeded in doing so. And then they died to everybody else. And I think he may have even still gotten a kill in that round. Actually, I don't think he did. But still, it's, you know, you committed your setup to dealing with the ladder player, which isn't a bad idea. Since you know there's going to be a player there 9 out of 10 times, you might as well try and eliminate him when you know his position. But you can't forget about the off. You can't forget about Shiro rotating around the map. You can't forget about every other piece of presence. Now they're out. They've got E-Box control. They've got a kill. Axile brings them back. Shiro is on the scene. Numbers are dropping. PRT and Malt's out of there. Maloop does get an answer, though. You know, the off's still present, but a 3-on-3. This is their best chance in a long time. Can they get that bomb towards the train? And now an advantage as well. Sure, it's going to have to come up big, but they don't expect Hobbit in the office, because who would expect Hobbit in the office? He's going to get a kill, but not before he loses his teammate. Now it's all on Hobbit, and down he goes. Finally, Team 1 put a second round on the board, take one through with the guns, and get a doubled scoreline here. All of 2 rounds to their names, Dean.
Damn, great recovery. It didn't start off too well at all. Well, I mean, it technically did, because I think it was PRT got the opening kill when they came up main, but obviously then we seen Shiro returning, and things did eventually lean a bit towards Gambit until it was pulled back. So yeah, the second round, they need to instantly go ahead and add another one on top of it right now. And honestly, if they're to be coming out with a half that's at all decent for them here, one that they can work with going into the CT side, yeah, I think 5 is kind of the mark at this point. So we'll see if they can make that recovery happen. Even looking at the economy of Gambit, unfortunately, they're nowhere near to actually breaking them. Some of these rounds, I guess, have been fairly clean, even though I think the pistol rounds even were ones where they took slightly more damage. I've got to leave that for now, though, because Maluke, nice timing there, catches the smoke, manages to get just in front of it over towards Ivy, and, well, enters. He wasn't expecting the players to be, I guess, so proactive at this point on Team 1, considering the current score they're sitting at. Maybe thought they'd be a little bit more timid, which they have been so far throughout the round. So a little bit of a switch up from Maluke is apparently what they needed. And with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining, they can slow things down a bit before they actually make that decision of where they want to end this round. They can put the pressure onto Gambit for pretty much the first time in the map.
I love the fact that they did decide to go in towards Ivy. That this is the second time we've seen them attempt it. This is the first time we've seen it really work in terms of a pick. I'm surprised they just give it up, though. They just give it up. They don't want to deal with it. They wanted to draw focus towards Ivy and then leave it alone. And it's worked, to be fair. Look at PRT. He's just walked out T-Con. They're not ready for him. A second player's going to come through. These players might bail on the B hit and just come back towards ladder. PRT's trying to sell this. If he gets this kill, he will. And there are 3 players here, which means that it's just to Hobbit alone on B. And here comes the hit. But he's ready? Never mind. Hobbit deleted. The site is taken. A man advantage and a follow-up kill as well. Takes the op out of play. And at this point, this might be a save. And it is indeed. Nafani gets the big green gun, and he'll back right off. Gambit pushed back. Team 1 string 2 rounds together back to back, and this one looks good. The game plan executed. Get a pick out towards Ivy, draw their complete focus to Ivy, and give it up. Meanwhile, you work a player out of T-Con to distract. The whole time, the setup has been going towards the B hit. That was the idea from the get-go. It worked to perfection. Gambit get moved around the map, and Team 1 went around. We need more of this, team.
They could potentially break down that economy, actually, for the final round. Maybe if the weapons weren't saved over. I think just the fact that Axel and Nafani have carried those over now, yeah, should leave them being okay. Maybe they'd have one player or something lacking a little bit, but no, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. I was trying to be optimistic for Team 1. Again, though, they're getting the round, so I think they're kind of giving us the optimism without having to make up anything like I was going to do. But yeah, 10-3, 2 rounds in a row for Team 1, and oh, how the tables have turned. It's Gambit now on the tactical pause, as they realize, well, things aren't getting out of control, but that kind of almost definitive win coming from the first half alone, that's getting a little bit out of reach. They would want at least one more round, I'd say, to bring it up to the 11. But the issue for Team 1 again is if Gambit even don't get any of these final 2 rounds, they're still sitting at 10. It gives them the room to lose the pistol and still have the space then to work with as well, going on towards their T side. So it's going to have to be kept up, this level of form right now for Team 1. But I'm hopeful. We've seen these last couple of rounds looking much, much better.
Yeah. I actually love the timing of that timeout for Gambit, because what they're doing is they're not concerned, they're not really that anxious, but they're saying, okay, Team 1 strung 2 rounds together. They've changed up their look, they figured out something to the way that we're playing Train. Let's slow it down, take a pause, talk about it. Talk about what we're going to do to respond. And let's see what the changeup is. Looks like they're headed towards potential aggressive T-Con control. We see the players out by E-Box. They're taking more space. They're zoning out Team 1 from any control into the site. They don't want PRT walking forward and getting all that ground like he did before. And Team 1... see, I don't love this. They've gone back towards just a more traditional setup. There's going to be the shot and the connection as well as Shiro takes the head off Basadello. Now, second player can get in towards the site. They can set up in a more traditional hold with a man advantage. So Team 1, they go back to a pretty straightforward B hit off the back of the pause, maybe trying to catch their opponent off with momentum. But between the utility, between the op, that doesn't work out to plan. And now they've got no presence anywhere else on the map.
No, this is kind of scarily similar to what we've seen in those initial few gun rounds that Team 1 were attempting to actually pull in their favor. And, well, it starts off a lot better. Okay, Hobbit looked like he had the drop on at least one player right there, but apparently not. Instead, it's Shiro from Isle who's going to have to return 1. And then, yeah, pretty much just concede the bomb plant. They still have that man advantage, so he didn't really want to stick around, lets his teammates all get in position. And then the hope is, of course, to use that advantage that they have. But look at PRT creeping around. He catches the timing perfectly on Inters just as he drops the molly, and the numbers continue to diminish for Gambit. It is Team 1 with an incredible afterplant right now. And even with losing Skulls there, they still have to worry about the player back at Connector. The only thing is there's a flank coming in for Gambit as well. It's Axile coming down that ramp. Oh, and he's caught Maluke instantly. PRT needs to try and do something about this. He is going to attempt to move in, but the issue is the kit is there, so the defuse can just come through, and there is nothing to be done about stopping it. Shiro even there for cover to get that final kill and add a bit of insult to injury. 11-3. That started looking so damn good, but that flank there from Axel turned it all around.
Was that an ace from
And Shiro as well. Yeah, no, surely not, because I think Axel got the player coming down the ramp. Did he not? I might be going crazy. Maybe he wasn't.
3K. My brain shut off there because I was just very frustrated with Team 1 that they go back to that call. Okay, so they get 2 rounds off of moving the players around the map, taking picks elsewhere, and then they're like, all right, a pause came through, 5-man B hit. I can understand it if you're trying to just take the momentum play, but they didn't even hit that fast, right? The op kill comes in, and then the molly goes down, and they slow it. So then a second player is in sight. They actually did a better job of the hit itself in that round, but I still just don't love the call coming through. Obviously, I guess their assumption was that Gambit would over-adjust to the Ivy presence towards the T-Con presence, and that would maybe create an opening. But Shiro was the one player they left on site. And Shiro is so dang good. So even if he's the only presence there, he's going to be tough to get past. We're going to see it again as they continue to move the op around the map. This time it seems like he might take the fight towards Ivy, and we see Maluk coming back to it as well. So this is working perfectly. If this is the fight he wants, this is the fight he's going to get. Going back to what works. Let's see if Team 1 can get this pick again.
Yeah, they need it. They need, as I said, to leave Gambit, the ones who are feeling a bit more uncomfortable, because at the moment they can just do whatever they want. If they want to sit back and play more passive, they do. If they want to go aggressive, it seems like they can take whatever control across the map that they feel like. And yeah, I mean, looking back, that was a 4-on-2, I believe, in that previous round in the afterplant. So that's got to be a little bit of a kick in the nuts and a kick in the morale right now for Team 1. I believe that's a flash coming into main. Yeah, it was here, of course, being thrown in. So Axel was pretty easily able to play the anti-flash for a moment. Unfortunately, Nafany and Popdog actually not having as much success. Was that the double drop? Is that how they finally deal with him? I didn't get the catcher from his
It looks like it was, because Mobs did take quite a bit of damage, which is what we assume. But Hobbit, again, he's gone back to what worked early on in this map. He's got the B-Hall's control. But look at PRT coming out Ivy. This could be interesting. This could be spicy. There's a player on top of the train car, presumably, based on positioning, who's looking for him. That is, in fact, Inters. Who's going to get the better of them? If PRT gets this kill, he can open up the round. If he loses this fight, I think it's just about done in the half for Team 1. Here comes the pick. Here comes the kill. Nice shot for PRT, but he loses a teammate elsewhere. Still, he's given them a chance, and Mobs has taken one more. A 1v2 now for PRT. We're going to see if he can pull off the clutch. No, he cannot. Shiro hits the shot. That's going to be the round, and we're going to go ahead and take a break here at the halftime. We will be back with the second half in just a flash. Keep it locked on the channel. We'll see if Gambit can close things out.
They call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. You're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. off my mind, trying to find a story to believe. And I've been getting sick of how I'm spending all my time, searching for a way to find relief. And I can stay inside, go to sleep, but I feel like I need to let go. And I can spin a web of any story that I like, but tonight I wanna make a masterpiece. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass and filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it.
And we're back and straight into the action here with the second half as we're getting things underway. Team 1 majorly down and in the dumps, only able to pick up 3 rounds. That includes a pistol round win as well. Gambit, meanwhile, with a comfortable lead, looking strong, looking fierce. Shiro sitting on a 20-4 scoreline. Do you see a way back into this game for the Brazilian squad here, Dean?
God, did they have spin bot in hand? Take the pistol, take that first gun round. It is always the way to go. You just need to be thinking about the round right now. You can't be thinking about how long of a road this actually is that they're up against right now. It's going to be a tough one, though. They need to be a whole nother level in comparison to what they were in that previous half. And there we go, Malbs. He had a quiet first half, actually. Just seeing he's up on 5 kills right now. But that is an amazing opening pick. And if they can get this second pistol round and actually capitalize on it this time, then maybe things could look better here. And look at all that info Skulls has got. That's surely going to prompt a quicker rotate to come over. And indeed, PRT is going to move back to B. As the hit comes in, Shiro down. A couple of teammates heading ahead of him, actually, as he looks to try and keep that P250 at the longer range. And it will be successful to get that 1 kill, but that's it. It's Malbs getting all of the work done. Currently sitting on 4 and still trapped in the back around Summit, but he doesn't care. It's Shiro instead who's feeling like he has all the pressure on his shoulders, and that's because he does. They don't care about the ace. They delay long enough for the flank of Maluke to come in, but Malbs, he basically single-handedly just won them that round. He doubled his kills in that pistol, man, from the entire previous half, Mike. That is crazy.
Love to see it for the young gun. Nerves settling perhaps a little bit. First time at an event of this caliber. I mean, it's a big moment. I suspect I think it's the first time playing on EU soil for both Skulls and Mobs. I actually think it probably is for Pesa and PRT as well. I don't know about Maluk. He's played for a while.
He's had a bit more experience going around, yeah.
But it's a big moment for these players. And let's see, there's going to be the molly down. They don't want to get overwhelmed by the 4 spot here. Mob's going to take down 3. Easy spray down with the Fama. He was alone on site, but he's going to be A-okay with it. Maluk will now provide oversight and take the final 2 kills. So a nice start to the second half. Obviously there we didn't see the force by investment from Gambit. It was a minimal investment at that. And they did get mowed down. Now the guns come out. Here's the true test for this Brazilian squad. They're coming in with the bonus round, 3 SMGs, a Famas, a Scout. This is not a round you're really expecting to win, but if you do manage to shut them down here, that is a long way gone towards making this comeback possible.
The issue is if they don't, then their buy still won't be all that great. So it's not 100% a bonus round, I wouldn't say right here. So yeah, they ideally do need to be picking this one up, especially with the scoreline then also taken into consideration. But Malbs, I'm hoping that's helped them build up that confidence because he was looking fantastic there in that previous round as well as the pistol. He's just gone ahead and brought himself up to 11, I believe, from 4 frags when the half kicked off. But yeah, default at the moment. This is a little bit more standard from Gambit than what we were seeing from Team 1. They've split out into pretty much the exact standard default. They've got one in Pop Dog, that's Nafany. They've got one holding for even passive main control. But look at this, the MP9 wants to go forward. Skulls, he does get the spot, and although it looked awkward for a moment, he eventually comes through with the headshot. So yeah, a great opening kill. With that now, Gambit a little bit more limited. They don't know if that MP9 could have actually continued pushing up into Pop Dog, so Hobbit is kind of cut off from the rest of his teammates if the plan was for that A-split to come in.
Look at this hold from Maluk. He's looking for the crouch so that he can pop the head. If they crouch into this angle, he's got him. Utility's going to come out, though. That should block his shot. There's the flashbang. He can't catch the players they tag through. Does he expect the second? Because Axile's still locked in. He can't move just yet, and it's left to Shiro to provide him some space. But we do see Maluk adjusting, shifting around, and that'll allow the second player out. Now they're trying to wrap the tendrils around the A site. And Inters is making his way out T-Com, but that's a big kill to find for Maluk. Yes, he gets traded. but he's done enough to make this easier for his team. And with this firm control, they have to commit. They're going to get one, and no! Trade available. Hobbit clears out the ladder single-handedly, just coming through, sweeping them aside. But it's down to a 2v2 as PRT brings one back. And the player on bomb site is alone. Ball's wrapping upon him. PRT in a duel out towards the train alley. It comes down to the 1v1. PRT only 6 points of health. He needs the headshot or it's bust. And here comes the peek. Here comes the kill. And it's done. It's dusted. Gambit, they are on the board in the second half. They found round 13 and they need precious few remaining rounds. But losing all but one player, that's far from a full victory here, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, that double drop down pop dog, though, is what really turned things around. I don't know how Hobbit is able to get away with both of those kills. It looked like up until that point it was basically going to be a confirmed round for Team 1. But now they are left in a little bit of an awkward spot. As you said, obviously Gambit not coming through with an incredibly clean round or anything, so it's not like the money's looking too good after they reinvest. But the same is to be said for Team 1. We said it wasn't really the bonus round that they were looking at. It's nades that they really had to sacrifice for. And also not a single kit. So if it comes down to a retake, then there is obviously going to be a lot of trouble for Team 1. But again, Gambit just taking things relatively slowly, trying to pressure around Pop Dog. A couple players initially maybe even expecting some Ivy aggression. I don't think they were making much noise themselves. You can just see a massive difference in the approach here from both sides. Gambit, a bit more standard on their T side, but Team 1 a lot more standard on their T side. We're not seeing anywhere near the same level of aggression, which is something you'd maybe expect more when they have such a lack of utility.
Yeah, you would maybe expect to see that something come through, but not just yet. They're content to hold. They're content to rely on these rifles, these long-range duels. And you're just going to come to drop. They're going to clear out ladder. No presence in ladder either, which is a big change from what we saw on Gambit's defense, where they always seem to have some sort of control here. A lurk smoke gets thrown, but no one goes through it. This is a fake. This is a bait. And I think T1 have sniffed it out pretty effectively, because we do see two players locked on site, including Maluk with the AUG, which is the most expensive gun to this point. Malbs does have a single Molotov as well. He's breaking out that utility. Needs to get the gun through. He's lost his teammate. Now it's all on Malbs. We need another heroic performance, and he cannot muster it. Still, it is a 3-on-3. He's giving his team a chance, as they will be rocking in towards the site, but that bomb will be down, and there's no utility here for the retake. No kits either. It's all the guns, and they got to get going quick. Good damage through the smoke. Funny is low. They're going to clear from on high. The Funny behind the oil train. He could be vulnerable here in a moment if they peek down into him, but they need to check it. There's the trade. Do they check this? No. Skulls gets one. There's the trade. 1v1, but PRT does not have the health for this. He doesn't have the kit for this. He does not have the round. Axile just needs to play patient, and the round is his. He's running out of time. He cannot make this happen at this point. There's going to come the tap. There's going to come the kill. Gambit had this wrapped up with a bow on it, and they inch ever closer to their first win in this play-in stage.
That's unfortunate. I think it was PRT in the previous round who was left on like 7 health as well, trying to make the clutch happen in the one-on-one, so he's not having a great time with those retakes. But it's 14-5. I would say Team 1 in general just not having a great time. It's going as expected, and it's with both pistol rounds for Team 1. They've had both of the pistol rounds. They had a little bit of momentum in the middle of the first half as well, where they got 2 rounds in a row. Other than that, it is just been Gambit controlling it all of the time. There's just nothing that Team 1 can do, it seems. Full USP is okay. So they actually do want to play for the eco and try and see if they can get an overtime potentially going, but obviously 10 rounds in a row is going to be a very difficult task to ask of them with what we've seen so far. Just in general, I mean, a team on form is going to have a tough time with that. Skulls, though, he wants to try and fight the Mac 10. I'm not sure if that's a great option. You'll be feeding over the money. I guess at this point it's maybe not the biggest of deals, but indeed, it is the SMGs that are getting all of the frags. Eventually, Shuro's going to pick one up on the AK right there, but other than that, it was 2 for either of the Mac 10 players. And yeah, 10 chances now for Gambit to put an end to this map, and with that to the opening game for themselves. That'll be the end of the best of ones. That's kind of I'd say that's what was scary for them coming in. This best of one. Once you get this out of the way, you maybe feel a bit more comfortable, because at least then you're not going to be getting punished so hard for just having one bad map.
Yeah, I think the majorly concerning thing here, and the thing that's kind of a disappointment for Team 1, is they're never going to get a chance for a proper gun round. Even here, they don't have kits, they don't have full utility, they don't have the op on Maluk. They're just not going to have the chance. And that's the reality when you go down 13 or 12-3 in your first half. You do not have that cushion. You do not have that buffer. And Gambit are going to give them no chance to build it. There's presence in the ladder room, a lot of presence actually, as Pace is looking to take the kill as soon as they peek over. And it looks like there's a bit of a fight here out towards Ivy. PRT gets the better of the first. Shiro, though, does get the trade, and the Molly's going to push Pace out. He's ready for the T-Con player. But for now, it's a 4-on-4. That ground's been taken. Good flashbang. Better kill. While Skulls will bring back the numbers, he's losing health in the process, and he cannot hang on forever. Maluk, the last player on site, his teammate trying to come in, but there's presence on B as well, so they don't know which way this bomb is going to head. They cannot group up. They're each on an island playing their own game, and Mobs, well, his island will get swept away. That's the last player to go down. It is 16-5 for Gambit as they take a dominant first victory here in this matchup. Absolutely slaughter Team 1, welcome them to Europe, and send them packing into the lower bracket.